are members of the IBTTA. We thank you for that. And we have a tradition here that in January every year, when the new president takes office in the association, the IBTTA, we invite he or she to come to our meeting. You've heard other presentations. Let me tell you real quick about Tim Stewart, this year's president. Very few in the industry had the honor, the opportunity to run two major toll agencies in their career. Tim is an exception. He was the executive director of the Oklahoma Turnpike, and now he's the executive director of the E-470 project in Denver, Colorado. I'm sure it was yesterday's board meeting that 34 years ago in Oklahoma Turnpike, he was on a shovel starting his career as a professional engineer, worked his way up to where he is today. And so he's an exciting leader, and he had his first board meeting last week. It's interesting, at that board meeting, Tim told us that his style of leadership, he believes in two things. First of all, results are more important than just efforts. And secondly, don't bite off more than you can chew. That's very good advice, I think, to all of us. So we're going to hear from Tim. I want to also recognize Bill Kramer. Bill, if you'll stand over there. Bill is the voice of the IBTTA, Director of Marketing Communication, and a brand new Floridian. You moved from Washington to Miami, Florida, so again, welcome to our state. So without further ado, Tim Stewart, President of the IBTTA.
Thank you very much for this wonderful invitation and opportunity to speak before friends and colleagues and transportation professionals, not only in the state of Florida, but as well those from Georgia and other regions. You know, I'm excited to be here. Jim's introduced me. It's from Colorado. We come and say a deep hello and thank you to those in Florida that are continuing to advance transportation. I'm the Executive Director of E-470 Public Highway Authority. Been in that role now at the end of this month, 2 years. And I'm excited also to be elected as this year's IBTTA President. It's a great honor that I am able to come before you today. Borrowing from a quote of Henry Ford, it says, "Coming together is beginning, staying together is progress, and working together is success." That's exactly what Team Ford and IBTTA have been doing now for more than 20 years. I look forward to strengthening those relationships and realize a common goal or theme to create a more friendly environment for the tolling and transportation industry while providing greater mobility and customer service in these fiscally and, quite frankly, politically challenging times. You know, I understand that last year Team Ford celebrated its 20th year. And I'm going to say that would not have been possible without Bob and Betty Hartman, and I think they deserve a round of applause at this time. They've devoted so much passion and energy to this group, and the results are before you. I mean, an outstanding conference, and I thank you for what you've done. I also want to acknowledge my good friend Jim Ely and those other great past presidents that have come from the great state of Florida, Hal Worrell and Javier Rodriguez. Both, in conjunction with Jim, have served the association extremely well. And it's because of their leadership that I hope to progress and follow. You know, past presidents' support and experience and knowledge that will bring to us an opportunity to advance the efforts of IBTTA and transportation worldwide. Florida has given IBTTA a lot in what they've done in innovation and the expressways and tolling transportation, and we're looking forward to continuing to learn. Many from Team Ford are members of the IBTTA, and I wouldn't ask you to stand up or be recognized, but there are a lot of IBTTA members. If you want to know more about that association, you can easily find that information. I'll advocate for it, but there are a lot of advocates here in the room as well. I want to acknowledge the various tolling agencies within Florida that continue to support IBTTA and its mission. You're an integral part of the association, and you keep us advancing and on the right track, and as the FTE might say, the sun track. Florida's Turnpike Enterprise, Central Florida Expressway Authority, the Miami-Dade Expressway Authority, Tampa Hillsborough Expressway Authority, Jacksonville Transportation Authority, Lee County Toll Facilities, and Osceola Parkway Toll Road. You know, I was fortunate yesterday to visit both FT, the Florida Turnpike Enterprise, and CFX, the Central Florida Expressway, and was blown away with what they are doing with the challenges of growing population and demands on infrastructure. And I'm going to take back with me some very creative and great ideas out of Colorado to continue to expand that. And I was jotting down some notes about Ray as we were hearing that presentation as well. Of course, Team Ford's new chairman, Van Fuller, I look forward to interacting with him. I know he's maybe away a little bit with illness right now, but look forward to interacting with him as well as we continue to advance our two associations to advocate for what is good in transportation. This year, most of you know that those who are not yet members of IBTTA, I encourage you to take a close look at IBTTA. More than 60 tolling agencies in the U.S. and over 25 countries around the world. We have a very long and impressive list of companies as well that support that association. And IBTTA provides a venue for education, advocacy, public relations, access to experts, and networking, much like you've experienced here in this conference. Together we learn and share our experiences. We begin to test and understand new technologies, and we do so for the purpose of addressing the challenges that are set before us. A strong testament to our success in IBTTA this past year, we added 43 new members. And IBTTA, and I would be amiss, and I know Rose is staring at me, so I better make sure to say this. I would be amiss in not mentioning the fact that we've expanded our membership with the DBE, WBE, and other opportunities as well, so we would encourage you to get involved. As president of IBTTA, I was asked to offer a theme, and you know, that's always a challenge. What do you set as a marker for the association in 2018? The president and CEO of IBTTA, Pat Jones, our executive director and CEO of IBTTA, and I were meeting together in preparation for the year, and in so doing, we talked about the challenges before tolling, the challenges before transportation, the toll. And arguably, I think it's a misunderstanding. Arguably, I think it's incumbent upon us to better communicate the benefits and the advantages of good transportation. I know that the senator talked about it. I know several others have talked about the fact that growing demand is not going to stop. 1,000 new people moving into Florida. A year, that's incredible. We have not quite that big in Colorado, but 100,000 people in Colorado. How do you address that continued demand? And I think to do so, we've got to build on the infrastructure we have, but to build on that, people have to trust us to do a good job. You know, I talked about it at our board meeting in Coral Gables last week. We've got a lot of challenges. Funding clearly is a challenge. But I would argue right now in D.C., the greatest challenge is trust. Trusting each other, trusting the public officials that they will deliver what they said they're going to deliver. And to do that, you've got to link it with accountability, because if I tell somebody I'm going to do it, I better deliver, or you're never going to trust me again. We as public advocates, we as professionals have to be trusted and held accountable. As an industry, we deliver an extremely good and valuable and effective product. But the outcomes of tolling, in most part, have not always been favorably received. Sometimes that four-letter word of toll is rejected. But if we're to fulfill our promise as transportation leaders, people have to trust us and hold us accountable, and we show the fact that we are benefiting communities, and I've seen it time and time again here in Florida and across the world. You've done an exceptional job. We've got to get a message out of what we're doing, though. Trust leads into accountability, and if you trust someone to do something, they must deliver, and you've done that in spades here in Florida, and I challenge you to do so. So we build trust by what we do, and we hold ourselves accountable for what we promise to do, and we invite others to hold us accountable. IBTTA wants to continue to providing a loud, proud voice for tolling and transportation and the transportation industry. We want to advocate for surface transportation. We want to provide greater mobility. We want to help our communities grow and thrive and develop. And we want to be trusted that we deliver when we say we're going to deliver and be held accountable for doing so. And that's exactly what IBTTA has been doing in their Moving America Forward campaign, communicating with elected officials at all levels of government, educating the media and the general population of what the benefits of tolling and good transportation is to the respective communities. Last week in Coral Gables, the IBTTA board looked and met and revisited the strategic plan and the strategies of each committee supporting that plan going forward. We as an association must remain relevant, stay ahead of the curve with technology and within the industry, and provide value and be accountable to our members. It's going to be a very exciting year, we believe. And with that, we have great opportunities for you to learn, network, and grow in the industry. One way we stay relevant is linking with others and building upon successes. We have a bit of a change in our meeting schedule. If you've been involved in IBTTA before, oftentimes the technology AET conference is in the summer, and it's really close to the annual meeting. We separated that this year. The AET Managed Lanes Technology Conference, hear this and listen carefully because you may want to book your flights and book your hotel rooms soon. It's at the end of April the 22nd through the 24th. The Maintenance and Roadway Operations meeting is in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. And I forgot to mention the AET conference in Charlotte, North Carolina. Harrisburg, Pennsylvania is the Maintenance Conference and Roadway, and the 24th and 26th. And we're going to have our board meeting, our second board meeting of the year, the 22nd and 23rd, right before that. And if you've attended maintenance conferences in the past, we're going to challenge you to do so again. We do service projects that benefit the region, benefit those that are in the area. We encourage you to come jump in and help support our foundation and support better goods for that region. And then we will have a summit on finance and policy to be held in Portland, Oregon on July the 22nd to the 24th. I think that will be an interesting discussion, depending on what comes out of the administration and possibly the Congress as we advance forward in what transportation funding looks like in the future. We'll have a global summit in Salzburg, Austria. I think it will be exciting to see what's going on abroad and how they are addressing many of these same challenges in other countries. And then we will have our final meeting in Baltimore, Maryland. It's our annual meeting, one of the largest meetings we will host in the year. Looking forward to that with the Maryland Transportation Authority, October the 14th through the 17th. It's going to be an exciting year, and we're going to build and work to advance tolling and transportation through trust and accountability. I look forward to seeing you at many of the IBTTA's meetings, and I want to thank Team Forward for this invitation and the continued partnership for the betterment of great transportation. Thank you so much.